Have you had offers or inclinations to, go do some big American sitcom, which I imagine someone has thought of you for, or like a lot of actors have migrated and done that?
It's come up. I have my own visa. I go down to LA quite a bit, but I think I would go insane if I had to sign a really long contract, a really serious network on this sitcom, because you really have no control and you have no freedom, and I think it would make me crazy. I like to do different things all the time. To sign a 7-year contract for, $1 bajillion. Not that they would hire me anyway, but hypothetically speaking. And then the problem with that is that it can get canceled anytime, and then you're just back to square one. And I think, I've only ever signed on to one series, which was Endgame, because I really, really, really liked it. So it depends on something. If I really, really, really like something, and I really like the character, and I think it's awesome, I'll totally do that. It's really hot in LA, and I'm in Canada, and I like scarves and hats and sweaters. So I don't think I could live down there for very long. I think the sun bakes your brain, and it makes you insane after a while down there, but,
Well, we applaud you staying in Canada.
So, we can hear it. Anybody else? Maybe who hasn't asked a question yet? But if you, that's fine. Go. Yeah.
So, earlier you mentioned that Jared and Joseph are actually pretty cool. My question is, are they? Are they really?
They are. They're really cool guys. I mean, they're, we didn't go out and hang out and party, but they're awesome. They're good guys to work for.
I saw your hand go up.
Because you work so much, good Canadian shows. Are there any Canadian actors you haven't had a chance to work with that you like to?
I'm obsessed with Michael Eklund. And fortunately I get to work with him again. If there's anything, the specific actors is a hard question, because I want to do interesting, cool movies, and I don't always necessarily know which actors would be the best, you know what I mean? I'm open to all experiences and all making new friends. Yeah, no, there's nobody in particular I'm dying to, no one that comes to mind anyway, besides Michael Eklund.
You, sir. No, Pikachu.
Okay. There was jokes of Ginger in space. Would you ever jump the shark and do something like that? Would you ever do something like that, just for fun?
I don't think that will ever happen. And I don't think anyone will seriously do that.
I mean, green screen technology is getting
Yeah, I don't think that'll ever happen. I think poor Ginger's dead. She'll stay that way.
Are there any future projects that you'd love to do, if you had total control over something? Like your dream project to do?
Just Scarlet Pimpernel. Anyone? No? Yeah? Awesome. No, I don't think there's anything specifically that I'm dying to go after. Things come up, they come up. I like them, I don't. We'll see. Good, interesting, fun things that people like. That's what I want to do.
Yes.
You started quite young. How did your parents feel about you pursuing an acting career?
Not great. My parents are filmies, and I used to hang out on set just because that's where my parents were. And I, sleep in grip stashes and Teamsters trucks and just have naps and go, steal marshmallows from craft service. And then they were casting her friends said oh, we've got this movie, Cousins coming in, should be perfect for it. And they're like, no, we don't want a movie brat. Look what happens to them. Oh, sorry. Go on. And I ended up doing that movie. It was a big budget wedding movie. It was called Cousins with Ted Danson and Isabelle Rossellini. And it was just in mansions and big, beautiful locations and dresses and cakes and music, and it was just absolutely wonderful. And I thought, this is great. I'm 5 or 6. I don't have to go to school. Everyone's real nice to me. I get to talk to adults. I get to eat candy, wear pretty dresses. This is fun. I should do this for a while. Cut to 12 years later, I'm being dragged through the forest with a rope around my ankle and freezing cold, hallucinating from exhaustion. It's a terrible idea. And my parents, you know, they were very, very cautious because they were filmies. They weren't the typical stage ones. Like, do whatever the director says, honey. They were like, no, she's not doing this, like, Disease of the Week movie or this, you know, child abuse movie. Or they were very protective. And they knew the way it worked. They knew the rules. They, you know, no one could get anything past them. And yeah, I mean, they were like, okay, well, if you want to do this, but, you know, whatever. I was like, oh, I want to ride pony. Pony riding lesson. It's fine. Go work. Okay. You know. And that was what they were really, really good with, being protective and cautious and not ever forcing me. They were really, it was my decision. That's where I was comfortable. It was my family. That's what I wanted to do.
Thank you.
What did or do your parents do in that industry?
My dad was a production designer for X-Files for 10 years. He was art director all up before that. He did 21 Jump Street.
Wow.
MacGyver, a bajillion things, and then X-Files for 10 years. So
Awesome.
yeah, he has 2 Emmys. One of them is in my house. It used to hold my toothbrush.
I have a spoiler question, so if anybody has never seen the American Mary, might want to cover their ears.
Spoiler alert.
Yes. If you hadn't died in the end of that movie, would you make a second one?
It was very important to the girls that she died. And a lot of people were like, oh, you know, let's make it a series and let's do a sequel. And the girls have said that if they were to do a sequel, it would be the same timeline, but they would follow Dr. Black and his weirdnesses, which I thought was an interesting idea for it. Mary needed to die. She died. We like it that way.
Who's next?